to start with?
I'll introduce it. I'm running video right now.
Oh boy.
I'm with Tom. Tom and I worked at electrical contractor together, and Tom's got a great story. This is some of the things that happened. You know, he just told me about what he was going through with his foot, and I'll let him tell the story. But I got to pray for him. God, he kind of healed him on the spot. But the story is even better than that. So I'm going to flip the camera. Tom's driving right now, and he's going to first start with what happened to him. Okay, so move the camera to Tom.
6 years ago, I was in a car accident, and I completely shattered my right heel. And it was an open break where my heel bone actually came out the side of my foot in 10, 11 different pieces. I was literally laying on the floor of the car. And those type of injuries normally is about a 70% chance of actually losing the limb. You know, it's not repairable, and even if it is repairable, usually you lose it to infection or whatever. After 3 surgeries, everything was okay except for all the discomfort of, you know, just rehabilitation. You know, it was hard to move. I didn't walk for the better part of 14, 15 months. And when I did start using it again, anytime I went up and down a lot of stairs, a lot of ladders, you know, after an 8-hour shift or whatever, I could barely walk. And that would run out through the whole night until the next day. And it went that way for a couple of years until last year, 2018. I figure my accident was in 2013, and met Dave on a job site. And after a day or so of just working together, he approached me with this, what do you want to call it?
Healing ministry on the job sites.
And Dave performed the one day he performed a couple of prayers on my foot, and amazing enough, it started feeling better, considerably better than it had in years. And then after a few weeks, he performed another prayer service on it, and I've had 95% less problems with my foot since then than I've had in the last 6 years. There's no more transitions. I can still tell when the weather is changing, but it's not painful anymore. It's just a little achy, but nothing that keeps me from working. And this is actually the first winter that I didn't have to, you know, adjust or get used to the uncomfortableness or the painfulness when the weather changed, when it got cold out. I was considering moving down south just because of how uncomfortable it was in the past few years when the weather would change. And this year, I haven't had any problems at all. And it's been about, 6 months since you prayed on my foot?
Yeah, I think I can't remember the date, but 6 to 8 months, somewhere in there maybe. Yeah.
It's never been better.
Yeah. So I remember, Tom's remembering the best he can, but I remember you felt tingling in the foot. Remember that?
I remember that.
Okay, so you felt tingling, and then you felt a strong peace on you. Remember? I remember you saying almost not being able to talk. I don't know if that's how you felt, but that's kind of because it was a feeling that, I don't know, kind of like almost like meditation. It almost put me into a meditative state where I just sat there and just reflected on what I was feeling and everything that was going on. It was a really strange feeling. Something I've never experienced before. Yeah. And I can say on the on this recording that, and I knew what it was the presence of the Lord. And I saw Tom had a lot of peace on him. You could see it in his face and his eyes. It's a strong peace. He calls it meditative state. That's I think, a good way of saying that. Well, essentially what happened is he told me about it, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but I volunteered to pray, and something had started happening right away. And so now, 6-8 months later, it's hard to date right now because you know how things are. There's a vast improvement. He's saying it's 95% better. And I know that it was one of the many miracles I've been doing, and I call the workplace. So
today was the first day you've seen me in how many months?
Yeah.
4 or 5 months?
4 or 5 months,
You
yeah.
haven't seen me limp at all today, have you?
No limping. No limping. Another one of the Lord's miracles. He loves touching people and healing people. Thanks again for listening to my story on YouTube.